One. Fam, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a thumbs up for Alabama's play in this game? I appreciate you guys being here. If you're watching my instant reaction, Alabama beats LSU by a score of 42-6 in dominating fashion. I'm going to talk about Alabama's victory tonight, and I'm going to start with Jalen Milroe in his overall performance. I think coming into this game, we wanted to see, what could Jalen Milroe do in a game of this magnitude, right? There's a high-stakes game. This is a playoff, play-in type of a game, big-time atmosphere, and Jalen Milroe comes through and delivers a really impressive performance, scores 4 touchdowns on the ground. He was really accurate passing the football, and I think that he needed this game. I think that Alabama needed this game, but most importantly, like him specifically, people wanted to see if he could get out of that slump. Against Missouri, didn't throw a touchdown, struggled against South Carolina, Tennessee. He wasn't accurate. You know what? I really feel that Nick Sheridan did a good job with the game plan, and I think Jalen Milroe executed it to a T. You look to last season, Jalen Milroe was able to run the football effectively against LSU, and he did the same thing tonight. I mean, LSU had no answers for him, and Jalen Milroe ripped off some really big runs against the Tigers. So hats off to Jalen Milroe. And I thought the offensive line, they did well. I think if you're going to criticize anything about Jalen Milroe tonight, it would probably be the deep ball that he missed onto Emmanuel Henderson. But really, that's it. I thought he was accurate. I love the screens that they ran. Alabama's running backs, they did good. How about that run in the later part of the game by Richard Young when he buried that dude? So Alabama, once again, is able to move the football on the ground. A lot of it was because clearly Jalen Milroe did what he wanted to do in this game. I want to talk about the defense. Think about this. Alabama's defense has allowed just 6 points. Did he catch that? That would be 13 points if that's a touchdown. Okay, so the final score of this game is going to be 42-13. So it's cutting this at the back end of the game. So the Alabama defense has allowed 13 points in the last 2 games. This was a touchdown in trash time. This was Jalen Mbakwe. But my point is, you look at how the defense played. Against Missouri, I didn't really take a lot away from that game because they didn't have a quarterback, whatever. They executed, sure. In this game, the defense played fantastic. And specifically that inside linebacker play, I loved it. The inside linebacker play was absolutely it. Jahad Campbell, over the last 2 games, has played absolutely phenomenal. He's played like a top 10 pick. I'm serious. And when he is sending up pressure through the middle, man, good luck trying to stop him. He was responsible tonight for over 12 tackles. He had a forced fumble. He had quarterback hurries. And how about his counterpart, Deontay Lawson? The interception that he had, that was such an athletic play. And I think if you get high-level play from your inside linebackers, Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell, that defense is going to flourish. Other guys who stood out for me tonight, I think, how about Bray Hubbard coming up with another interception? Xavier Brown, the guy was tested. Not a lot of stuff got behind Alabama tonight. And against a quarterback who could fit the ball into tight windows. Now, Garrett Nussmeier, he did get his yards, but nothing deep downfield, which was critical. Now, that tight end, he's a monster, right? Alabama in the last 2 games, we'll have to update that. T, if you could update that. So Bama 69 and then just add another touchdown. So it's 69-13 in the last 2 games. If you could edit that on the fly, I'd appreciate that. But, the last 8 quarters for Alabama football, you're either getting better or you're taking steps backwards. And I think if you look to Alabama, is the defense getting better? Yes, absolutely. And I think a win like this against LSU says a lot about where this team is going. I think the way that this offense played tells you a way. You know what? And what I liked about the offense tonight, too, they're trying to get Kendrick Law the football. Now, Kendrick Law did drop a pass. I'm not happy about that. Right in his hands. But they're trying to utilize their playmakers. Jeremy Bernard, he didn't have a real big night tonight. Got the football a couple times to Ryan Williams. By the way, he looks so nice returning punts. I'm not going to lie. The only area I kind of am a little bit suspicious about is the field goal kicker right now. I don't know how I feel about the field goal kicker. He missed it. It turned out to be a delayed game. Whatever. We'll see how that goes. One on time of possession tonight. They had a long, sustaining drive, went over 15 plays, lasted over 7 minutes. They proved that they can have long, sustaining drives. The injury report, things that we are tracking. Jaden Roberts went out. He was available to come back in, so we'll keep you posted on that. Q-Rob, it looks like he has an arm injury. You have Devontae Smith, who looks like he was limping. And then you had Jam Miller, who suffered. It looked like his wind just got knocked out. So out of all those guys, it looks like Q-Rob, probably the one that we're going to follow up on. Keanu Coate did not travel with the team. I don't know why. Could be anything. So unless you hear it from Coach Kalen DeBoer, I wouldn't believe it until you hear it. But he did not travel with the team. All right, let me hit on a couple topics on the right real quick. Ole Miss, they beat Georgia today. And what does that do for the college football rankings? I have no idea, but I know this. Georgia cannot be ranked over Alabama. So Alabama is going to move up in the college football playoff rankings. They needed style points. They got style points today. Georgia Tech beats Miami. So is Miami out of the play? I don't know. I think there's a scenario where Miami can still play for the ACC championship, but we knew that grass basketball could only take you that far. And today they lose to Georgia Tech. How about all the former assistant coaches today under Coach Saban were playing, right? Brett Key beat Mario Cristobal. Lane Kiffin beat Kirby Smart. Steve Sarkisian beat Billy Napier. And then you had Dan Lanning beat Mike Loxley. How about that? All those coaches going head-to-head today. Indiana is now 10-0. Look, they play Ohio State here in a couple weeks. We're all going to be watching that game. I think the Hoosiers is the first time they're 10-0 on the season. The SEC standings, it's going to be crazy. Because right now you have a three-way tie for first place. Texas A&M, Texas, and Tennessee. All those teams have one loss. Now Tennessee and Georgia, they do play in this next week, which will be an ultra-entertaining game. And then you have South Carolina, who beat Vanderbilt tonight, and then Texas, who's now 8-1 with a win over Florida. To close it out on my instant reaction, this Alabama football team is as good as they want to be. I don't think that they have played their best football at this point in time, but this is a pretty damn good win. And this is the best win of 4 quarters of play that we've seen this team play so far. It's always important to be playing your best football later on in the season. And I'll tell you what, Coach Kalen DeBoer, his approval rating just went through the roof. This is the type of football Alabama football fans want to see. Good offense, win the time of possession, and play really good defense. And they did that tonight in LSU. Just an absolutely dominating win. Style points, absolutely. Alabama rolls in Baton Rouge by a score of 42-13. This is my instant reaction. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. Coming to you. Oh, Gelato in with the 49, the buzzer beater, the fadeaway. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. We got Coach Kalen DeBoer's press conference right here coming up next on Bama Football on YouTube.